My parents are glad my dad's friend is keeping an eye on me, but it weirds me out. Hi. So I'm a triplet. Me, my sister and my brother. We just went into our senior year of high school. A few weeks ago our parents threw a big end of summer, start of senior year party for us. During this party, one of my dad's friends, person he works with, Brian, 30, came up to me and asked to talk to me alone, and he gave me $400 cash, and told me it was so I didn't have to worry about working for spending cash and could just focus on school. I told him that it was really nice of him, but I didn't want to accept, plus he had already gotten each of us a gift, but he insisted and said if I didn't need it to just put it into savings. Then he told me to keep it in between the two of us because he wasn't giving my siblings as much, and he told me the reason was because they weren't taking as many honors, AP classes as me, so he figured I'm going to need to spend the most time studying. I figured this meant that he still gave them something, but maybe just like $200-ish, but a few days later my sister was looking for something in my wallet and she saw the cash. I hadn't gone to the bank yet. And she was like, "Where the hell did you get this money?" And I was like, "From our graduation party, from Brian." She was like, "Was this money supposed to be for all of us?" And I told her I didn't think so and told him exactly what he said and asked how much money he gave her and our brother, and she said none. She said he hadn't even spoken to her during the party other than the initial congratulations. We asked my brother and confirmed he had never been given money either. My sister was pissed, but I didn't want the money in the first place, so I told her she could have it. We told my parents about it, mostly the just giving it to me thing, and they said that I must have misunderstood and the money was for all of us and he just gave it to me because he thought I was most responsible. But I 100% remember the convo Elle had with him, and he specifically said not to tell them and that he was going to give them less and to not tell them. But my parents are insisting I misunderstood. So here's where it gets kind of weird. I was out with my friends Saturday night. My sister and brother were both doing other things. Me and my friends were at an arcade, karaoke place, and at about 1 a.m. Brian comes up to me. And at first I couldn't tell because we had a somewhat normal conversation at first, but then I can tell he's actually pretty wasted. He starts telling me how beautiful I look, how he's better stick close so nobody tries anything, etc. I eventually left because I just felt like he was sort of suffocating me. And it felt like having one of my parents there, lol. When I told my parents about this, they went off on me. Like, why were you somewhere where Brian thought he had to keep an eye on you? What were you doing? Even though they literally agreed to me going and I wasn't doing anything wrong. It's literally a franchise place that I went to, didn't drink anything, etc. Now my parents are acting like I'm some sort of criminal and they're happy Brian is keeping an eye on me, like my mom legitimately texted Brian to say thanks. I don't know what to do. Brian is a fucking creep. Trust your gut. Sit down with your parents. Tell them you're not a kid and you have a gut feeling which says Brian is not looking out for you but trying to get into your pants. If they don't take you seriously, there's not much you can do other than keep insisting. Stay away from him. Make sure your friends and siblings know never to let Brian be alone with you. He's bad news. Tell your mom that these are classic grooming behaviors that are inappropriate and you think he is trying to make a sexual advance toward you and they're not doing a good enough job advocating for you and protecting you with healthy boundaries with their friends. Return this guy's money. Have your parents do this, and have them tell him his actions have been inappropriate and put you in weird situations you're not comfortable with and he needs to back off. Tell your parents you're disappointed in them. Tell them I'm disappointed in them too. Be careful. Your mother is an idiot, quite frankly. This is classic grooming behavior. Update number 2. My 32M fiancé, 29F, got breast enhancement surgery and I am no longer attracted to her. Original. Update number 1. I can't imagine many people care, but I got a lot of private requests for an update. So here it is for those who care. My ex and I are now friends. She actually finally got into therapy and has really been more like the person I thought I knew. She said she realized that she was acting out because her mom died, which I tried to discuss with her, and also there were some issues in our relationship I was unaware of, which admittedly I did not try to discuss because I was unaware of them. She expressed to me that because of my personality, which is pretty even-keeled and placid, it can come off as indifferent or even judging. For a while she was feeling like I didn't find her attractive anymore. Which was pretty surprising to me because I always made an effort to let her know how gorgeous I thought she was, but I guess my behavior didn't always convey it even if my words did. Which is on me and something I have discussed in therapy. Being more enthusiastic or letting people know how much I appreciate them and catering it to them specifically, individually. And her therapist helped her realize a lot of what she was going through. Which was nice because she essentially said that she forgave me for her reading into, essentially, way that I am and turning it into a negative as opposed to it just being that way that I am and in no way a reflection of her or how I felt about her. And I believed her. And I apologized for not making her feel as beautiful as I think she is and generally not being a more present partner. She also apologized for her behavior after her mom died. She actually admitted she was trying to make me jealous, and when it didn't work she went temporarily insane. She said she felt like she lost me before her mom died, but because we never talked about it, after her mom died she started acting out and feeling kind of desperate and lost control. I am so grateful for her honesty. I thought I had been going crazy. Ultimately, though, neither one of us has a desire to jump back into a relationship with the other. She had brought it up passively as something down the road and in future, but when I kind of remained silent she asked if that was something I was hoping for and I had to be honest. It wasn't. I love her. But the person I fell in love with doesn't exist anymore. I can't see her the same way and I am quite frankly not in love with the person she is now. Even with everything she is saying, her previous behavior is hard to let go of, let alone ignore entirely. She agreed with me. What a relief. We love each other but both feel like we both need time away from each other and figuring out who we are, and now we can at least be friends. I thought I lost my best friend. And I thought because of all of this that it was gone forever. But I got my best friend back. We're not best friends anymore in the way we were, but when faced with alternative it's almost better. Because I missed her friendship more than anything. Long before everything fell apart. Anyway, things are positive but there's no hate or animosity. I feel terrible for what I put her through. But as my therapist reminds me, it wasn't intentional. At the end of the day you are only yourself and people have a choice to live with it or not. He's helped me a ton. Thanks. Yua, it honestly sounds like she's still putting WAAAAAAYYYYY too much blame on you. I mean, she went full psycho and broke your shit and tore up the house. After you came to get your stuff she changed the locks and started seeing someone else. You need a lot more therapy if you think that woman should be in your life even as a friend. And what happened with her guy she was seeing after breaking up with you? And please keep her at a distance even as friends. The kind of distant friends would be better. Nah, look for friendship elsewhere. You are too dependent on her. Go to therapy. My friend's boyfriend groped me and now she hates me. I moved to a new city only 4 months ago and I, 26F, became best friends with H, 25F, almost instantly. We bounced off each other from the very beginning, radiating the same wild energy, spending nearly every day together. When she told me about her new man, I was really excited to meet him. She said he was crazy like us. Funny, sarcastic, inappropriate sense of humor. So, she arranged for myself and our colleagues to meet him at a staff do. Within seconds, we were engaging in a hilarious conversation. His energy was contagious. He was good-looking, interesting and perfect for H. I sang his praises to her. As the night ticked on, drinks were flowing and he started getting handsy with me and my other colleague L. Initially, he tripped me up and pinned me to the floor. I laughed it off as boisterous fun and continued my night. He started making inappropriate comments, saying I was fit, but I said you should only have eyes for H, and then he tweaked my nipple through my shirt, twisting it. After this, he lifted me up by my crotch and as he did so he moved his fingers around. He also had his arm around me and pinched both mine and L's bums while H was stood between us. H and boyfriend left early while the rest of us continued. But L said she felt uncomfortable and the managers of our company said he seemed more interested in me and L the next morning. H comes into work and I remind her of what happened. She was blackout drunk, so when I tell her, she looks devastated. I told her because I thought she would want to know. She went home and sent him packing. That evening she forgave him, so to keep the peace, I passed it off as a drunken misunderstanding. H told me he found L better looking than me anyway. Interesting comment, but I wasn't too offended. Now, H won't really talk to me and is spending time with L. I imagine L will be saying that I made a bigger deal about it than it was. But I hardly even made a fuss. I just wanted H to know what happened and what was witnessed by senior staff. Bear in mind, you can literally pass what he did as saw, and all I wanted was to tell my friend, not make a deeper deal out of it. H has fully forgiven her man and hardly bothered with me. I asked her if she was angry at me about what had happened and she insisted she wasn't, but that was 4 days ago, and she hasn't bothered with me properly since. Work feels toxic and I miss our banter and fun times. I'm gutted this gropey fool came into her life, but I'm worried that I should never have told her in the first place as it has ruined our friendship. While I'm not suggesting you escalate anything here, although you should, for all intents and purposes, you were sexually assaulted, by your supposed friend's boyfriend no less. Insecure partners often get caught up in nonsense like that and allow themselves to ignore reality. In your situation, she's decided you're the problem when you logically aren't. It sucks and I'm sorry, but that's reality. So your move is to just be professional. Assume you're nothing more than coworkers. You did absolutely nothing wrong, but she's decided how she wants to feel. Good luck. I want to break up with my boyfriend because he is jealous of my cats and does not like them. I have 2 affectionate, adorable little kitties. My boyfriend always knew this, but I think he assumed that my cats would act more independent. But my cats are super clingy and affectionate. When my boyfriend of 2 months came to my house, he felt weirded out that I called my cats Lovey and Sweetie, even though I did not have any names for him. One time during that day one of them jumped up on my chair, purring and rubbing against me. Even though I was still talking to him, he told me to cut it out and to take them off of the chair. I don't know whether he is jealous or thinks I am a zoophile, but I am not a zoophile, I just really love my kitties. I don't know whether I am being horrible or whether he is, and if I should break up with him. The point of dating is to find a compatible partner. This guy isn't a compatible partner. If he doesn't like cats, he's not a good fit for you. He is being horrible. Keep the cats, dump the BF. He's not the one. Leave him. My sister just got married this weekend and in her vows she made a point to mention how her husband did not like cats but loved her cat and treated her cat with nothing but love. A better partner is out there for you and your boyfriend isn't it. Your cats are part of your life. You would be happier with a guy who likes your cats and does not try to control your interactions with them. Being jealous, resentful of ordinary pets is a bit of a red flag.